All right, I got my two holes located here with my transfer punch here and here. I then just took my trammel and centered them up there and drew my arc, stopping about 6 inches from the edge here. So there's that. What I need to do now is locate these holes, these 1/4 inch holes. This one, actually, if I can, it should come back just a little bit. We'll see if I can do that. Because you want to be able to adjust your fence back just a hair so that you're past 90, so you can dial it in. I can do that when I do the arc. Never mind, I don't need to drill it. So it's more important to just get them drilled, and then I can locate my router bit off of this hole and swing my arc with that, and use this as a pivot point. I'm doing a little preview here. I dropped, I put my extrusion on my pivoting hole, tightened this down, not tight but snug, and then dropped my transfer punch in here to scribe a line to see how close I was to my pencil line. And I am just on the outside of it, just barely. So that, I like that. I can measure once in a while, I guess. So my extrusion took a little tumble. I got a little dent here. I don't know if I'm gonna mess around with that or not. I don't think it's gonna affect anything. I had a little piece I needed to file off, but it should be okay. I'm not too concerned about it. My piece of, my work is not going to be sitting up there anyway. If it was tall work, it'd still have plenty of bearing surface out here, and most of that stuff is going to be down here on this edge. So well, for now I'll leave it alone. Okay, I've got to get my router set up to cut this arc, and then I should be well on my way here. Alright, setting up my circle cutting jig, in this case my arc cutting jig. I just put the pivot point in the pivot hole. I lowered my 1/4 inch bit and dropped that into the pivot hole, or the arc hole, and then inserted my rods and tighten both of these down, and I should be locked in now in perfect position here. So I'm going to raise the bit up. First I'm going to set my depth stop here, because this is where I want to be for my first cut. There you go. Now I want to keep that set up so that I can flip this over and make that relief cut on the opposite side here. Alright, this should have been done in a different order. This runner should not have been applied yet, so you can save yourself some trouble if you do this operation first. But I'm going to be able to overcome it by just raising up the height of the base here with some 1/2 inch Baltic birch, and then the same size Baltic birch double stick tape to the base here. These don't have to be stick down. They're just going to pivot. My pin, because it's threaded in there probably 3/4 of an inch, I was able to back that out and gained enough space. I'm using I think it's like 3/4 of an inch bit here. 1/2 inch is not big enough for a relief cut for the head of this bolt. And this is too much, but it's better to go that way than make 2 passes. I think I could adjust my arc and make a couple passes if you have a smaller bit. That's the way to overcome that. So let me put this in place here. Just like that. Alright, I've got to rearrange my blocks again because they're going to run into this runner. So I'm going to put them back here, and that should give me enough space to finish this cut. Let me check my depth of cut while I'm at it. That looks good. So I got to get this one out of the way. Right, that should do it. All right, let me clean things up and we'll flip it over and give it a test run here. All right, this fits in here good, and it moves nicely until I bring the square shoulders up in there. And it does lock down. I mean, it does still want to move, but that's very hard to do. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to remove these shoulders a little bit, or at least round them over a little, and then put it back together. But you can see here, once it's settled in there, I've got good clearance, and I think that'll work out pretty nice. Well, that didn't take much. Pretty much rounded it right off. And I also put a little flat on that dome, so if I do want to add a washer, I'll have room. Much better. That works even better with a washer. I like that action right there. All right, let's assemble it with our extrusion and see how it works, you know, with the hole spacing and everything here. That's nice. It goes past 90, so I'll have the ability to adjust it exactly to 90. Locks down nicely.